Good evening, I'm Sangeeta, Kandola. The Mayor of London confirmed he's going ahead with what could be the largest rise to council tax and travel costs in a decade as part of his draft budget. He says a large chunk of the cash will be used to fund 500 new police community support officers. Sam Holder has the details.
Paying for extra PCSOs, keeping TfL afloat and funding the fire service. The cost? An extra £38 a year for the average London household. The bills keep coming for Cynthia. She's already struggling. The Mayor's new budget is a double blow for Londoners, with council tax and TfL fares both going up.
It affects us financially, massively financially, because we're trying to go out to work to be able to pay the extra money.
The cost of living means finding food for her 5-year-old is already hard enough.
I have a family, so because I have a family, they have to come first. And if I have to go without, then I have to go without. That's the position that we're currently in.
Cynthia has had to give up her car. It's diesel. She lives in Harrow, which, like all London boroughs, will fall under Sadiq Khan's extended ULEZ. He's urging people to take the bus and tube, but announced today tickets are going up nearly 6%. A zone 1 to 6 peak tube fare will now cost £6.50.
It's way too much. Way too much. It's already so expensive and so unreliable, so I don't think they should increase anything more.
Where do they expect people to get the money from?
It's not fair. Something should be done about it. That's all I can say. Right now we just have to pay. We've got no choice. We've got to get into work.
When it comes to your council tax, part goes to the Mayor. For a Band D property, that will rise by £38.55, the maximum allowed by the government. £20 of that will go to TfL. £15 to the Met to recruit 500 PCSOs, and £3.55 to the London Fire Brigade.
Well, look, this is the last thing I wanted to do, but the government's refusal to fund our city with the funding we need, the Met Police Service, the London Fire Brigade, Transport for London means we had no choice but to raise council tax. If we didn't do so, that would have meant fewer officers. It would mean bus services and tube services being cut.
The Prime Minister says scrapping ULEZ would help ease financial burdens on Londoners.
It's disappointing that the Mayor, backed by the Leader of the Opposition, is choosing not to listen to the public, expanding the zone against the overwhelming views of residents and businesses.
Sadiq Khan's ULEZ plans have already been approved, but his budget still needs to be rubber-stamped by the London Assembly. Sam Holder, ITV News.
The London Ambulance Service has apologised to the family of a 40-year-old support worker from Dagenham who died after waiting an hour and 45 minutes for an ambulance. When it didn't arrive, operators called a taxi. Anila Dami reports.
Victoria Yamfit was a 40-year-old support worker for adults with special needs, a wife and mother. At home in Dagenham last Monday, she suffered multiple pains.
I would roughly say 2 a.m. That's when she started really complaining on my belly. My belly. And she still had the flu with her belly hurting and her rib hurting her.
An asthmatic, Emanuela was concerned for her mum and called for an ambulance. She told me they waited for an hour and 45 minutes, by which time Victoria had stopped breathing. Emanuela has a call log that shows she'd called just after 6 a.m. on Tuesday the 10th of January. She says she was told there would be a 6 to 10 minute wait for an ambulance. When it didn't come, she called again.
So when she said 20 minutes, I'm telling my mum, 20 minutes, they'll be here. And then I called them back again, and then the man said an hour.
She shows me texts of a taxi booking made by a paramedic throughout that time to take them to the hospital, and tells me a taxi arrived about 15 minutes late, by which time the ambulance had arrived. She recalls paramedics getting a heart rate, but it was too late.
My mum's a support worker and she always puts people first, and I feel like when it was her turn, she was kind of like neglected in a way. Timing wise, I feel like they could have got there a bit quicker. Maybe if they did, it could have prevented all of this from happening, me grieving over my mum, everyone grieving over my mum.
Emanuela says her mum's body was left on the floor for 6 hours after she died. The London Ambulance Service says it's deeply sorry for the delay in responding to Mrs Yamfit and that it will contact Mrs Yamfet's family as part of a thorough review into the response and care provided. The cause of Victoria's death is still unknown. Emanuela has now launched a fundraising page to help give her a send-off she deserves. A family grieving, but also remembering Victoria Yamfet's giving nature. Anila Dami, ITV News.
A 22-year-old man arrested on suspicion of attempted murder after a drive-by shooting outside a church in Euston has been bailed. 6 people were injured in the shooting on Saturday afternoon. A 7-year-old girl remains in a serious but stable condition. A 48-year-old woman has potentially life-changing injuries. And a whistleblower says she was forced to quit the police watchdog after senior managers allegedly interfered with a stop-and-search complaint from 2 black athletes in West London. Tricia Napier says the IOPC dismissed her claim and the witnesses who supported Bianca Williams and Ricardo dos Santos. The IOPC says it absolutely refutes the decision was influenced by anything other than evidence. Police are still searching for a missing couple and a newborn baby over concerns the mother hid the pregnancy from authorities. Constance Martin and Mark Gordon were last seen in East Ham around 10 days ago. Police say their disappearance is highly unusual.
They've been using cash as payments, using transport methods that will accept that cash, and also, we believe obviously that will be the same for the lodgings, and that's where our appeal goes out to anybody who would take cash payments and who has had interactions with them in that context.
Crystal Palace pulled off a late draw with Manchester United in the Premier League tonight. Michael Olise scored a stunning free kick to level the game for the Eagles in the 91st minute, ending Manchester United's winning run. Finally, a designer from South London is over the moon after one of her dresses became one of the most talked about items in the country after the new presenter of Love Island wore it on the show last night. Helen Keenan has more.
It was this 20 seconds of footage on one of the UK's biggest shows
in a brand new villa
that has transformed a young designer's life. The new Love Island host, Maya Jama, in an outfit created by fellow Londoner Sierra.
All we need now are some islanders.
Fashioned not in a warehouse with a team of people, but in her bedroom.
Everything is done by me, so it's quite shocking when things like this happen because it's on me. Like, if someone has to clean the trash, it's me. If someone has to post the order, it's me.
So Maya Jama wearing your designs on Love Island, what was that like to see?
It was genuinely unbelievable. I was overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do. She looked phenomenal. She was coming out of a helicopter. I was like, oh my God, like I did that. And her having all the options to take any brand. There's a lot of big brands out there that she could have worn and she could have got the items for free, and she chose a young black designer who's not known.
Since then, orders for Maya's outfit have gone up by 800%, and visits to her brand's website have risen by 250%.
So you've not spoken to each other yet, is that right? But you are following each other on social media?
Yeah, I have not spoken to her yet. She follows me on Twitter and she released a tweet where she said thank you.
So are you hoping to make more outfits for Maya? Are you going to drop her a DM?
I hope so, but she's already done enough for me. So if she wants more, I'm more than happy to do it.
This small outfit that has made a huge difference to a clothes designer whose looks will no doubt soon be gracing the catwalks. Helen Keenan, ITV News.
Weather now, here's Sally.
ITV London weekday weather is sponsored by Octopus Electric Vehicles. Car, charger and energy.
Hello, a very good evening to you. I hope you had a good day. A beautiful start at Richmond. Looks like it's almost snowed, so sharp is that frost. We've got further frost to come, and with them the risk of some ice on roads and pavements. A pretty dry setup though. Could be a wintry shower, but mostly dry, staying cold though. There are some sunny spells in the mix to improve things a touch. So back to tonight, that frost building as we go through towards tomorrow morning. Another frozen scene to wake up to, and as I said, there could well be some ice around. Our temperatures down to -3 to -5. That's in the towns and cities, so it could be even colder in the countryside. So Thursday, kicks off to another chilly start. That frost, as you can see, hanging around for a time, but we are expecting that winter sunshine to head our way. There will be a bit of patchy cloud coming and going like today, and quite light winds. The temperature's still very low, highs of only 3 to 5 at best, and another cold night to come, and that pattern continues as we head through towards the end of the week. You can see some chilly days, very chilly days, some real sharp frosts at night, and perhaps a bit more cloud as we go through the weekend. That's it for now. Have a lovely evening. Good night and sleep well.
ITV London Weekday Weather is sponsored by Octopus Electric Vehicles.
That is it. We are back in Good Morning Britain tomorrow. Good night.